What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. Make sure you go to my website, analysisplayground.com. There you can find NBA highlights, NBA tributes, NBA rookie analysis, and NBA breakdown exclusively only on analysisplayground.com. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you become a member on the website. That way you can get up to date without having to check every day. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. We're going to keep continuing with the what to expect. Today we're going to start some rankings of the teams. I had the Dallas Mavericks missing the playoffs. Nobody really criticized me. They just wanted to know more of my reason. I had Utah slipping into the AFC because they were the #1 team in the NBA after the All-Star break. They got more chemistry. They won some close games. So I think it's going to be close between them and the Mavericks. If a team do fall out, I can see the Pelicans because of injury concern. So I'm not saying the Dallas Mavericks can't make the playoffs. No way, Jose. I'm just saying that if I had to pick 8 teams, the Mavericks wouldn't be one of the 8 teams I would pick, just because they got a lot of chemistry problems. I know last year they came with a whole new team, and Rick Carlisle, one of the best coaches in the NBA, coached his ass off and got the team off to a hot start, even with Jameer Nelson as a point guard. Then the chemistry died off when Chandler Parsons had injury problems and Rajon Rondo messed up the chemistry. So they flew out the gate as one of the top teams in the playoffs, and even though they had a rocky ending, they had so good of a hot start that they was able to coast to the playoffs for the 7th seed and still win 50 games, even though they had a lot of injuries and a lot of bad chemistry with Rondo and Chandler Parsons was going down. So with that being said, this year, Rick Carlisle took some gambles. Him and Mark Cuban took some gambles on the Dallas Mavericks this year, gambling on JaVale McGee, gambling on Darren Williams, gambling on Wesley Matthews because he tore his Achilles. You don't know what you're going to get from him. And then you got Chandler Parsons, another question mark, I should say, because he coming off injury. We don't know what we're going to get from him. So the Dallas Mavericks had too many question marks. I'm not saying they can't do it. They got so many things to overcome this season. Defensively, what they're going to do. Offensively, they can run a lot of things that they ran last year. I actually think this year team is better than last year team in terms of what they can do offensively with the team. I think JaVale McGee, not a better center than Tyson Chandler, but I like Darren Williams better than I like Rondo, and I like Jameer Nelson. Chandler Parsons should be able to get a lot of time to rehab. I don't know when he's coming back though. And Dirk Nowitzki's still going to be a knockdown spot up, 3-point shooter, mid-range shooter. He's going to be able to get some isolation points. So I think they can do a little bit more this year offensively than they did last year, because these veterans know where to play. They play hard. They know where to play. They know how to get their areas. But it's just too much question marks for this team for me to pick. Only thing that Utah had with a question mark was them. Now with the Dante Exum, but Dante Exum never really did nothing to me. I don't really know what he is. I don't know what he brings to the table besides good defense, and he's a okay spot up shooter. So I don't really know what Dante Exum was gonna bring. So I still got Utah making it, but like I said, Dallas got a whole lot of question mark chemistry, injuries, the gambles they took on McGee, Darren Williams, and Wesley Matthews. They just took a lot of gambles this year to make the playoffs, and it could pay off big time in the future, or even this season, or it could all go to hell and they end up being a terrible team. They don't mesh right. They got to make some more moves. But a lot of these people locked in for 2 years or a little bit longer than that, so they still got the financial flexibility in the future to cut some of these players. They own tradable contracts, most of them, besides Wesley Matthews, depending on how he plays. So Dallas Mavericks still trying to play for the playoffs and for a championship, but they also got some financial flexibility for the future. So they're in a safe spot if they make the playoffs or they don't. So I like what the Mavericks doing, but like I said, I got to see it together for a whole season before I change my prediction of them not making the playoffs. So I like what they're doing. I got to see how they is. I got to see their identity defensively. I got to see their identity offensively. And we're going to see how they turn out to be. So that's what I got to talk about for the Dallas Mavericks, why they didn't make the playoffs, what to expect from them. I expect them to miss the playoffs, and I also can expect them to get the 6th seed at the highest in the Western Conference with the type of roster they have right now. So them are 2 things I expect from them. And I expect them to be a good offensive team too, because Darren Williams is a good post-up and spot-up shooter. So I like what I'm saying for the Dallas Mavericks. I just gotta see it together and see them healthy.